Hey guys and gals, this is a video to hopefully help those of you with the same problem I had, a resistance issue on the iTaste VTR. Now these are the items that you'll need. A knife, hopefully you can get one that's got a nice flat edge at the tip there. You'll need a pin, some Q-tips, alcohol, and a hairdryer. Alright, so I've owned this for about 8 months and it goes with me everywhere in my pocket. After a while, I started noticing that my coils started going bad at a faster and faster rate. And what do I mean by this? If you click your button up here, it would read some crazy numbers. Right now it's reading 2.0. I've got a 1.8 in here, so that's not too bad. But I was getting some crazy numbers, up to a 7, and sometimes even just not registering the coils at all. I thought it had to do with the fluid that I was using. But I recently discovered that that's not the issue at all. So what the problem really is here is the base wheel. In other words, this part right here. If you're having problems with yours, this is how you test it. First of all, you click that top button just to check your voltage. Your voltage is that first number. Excuse me, not your voltage, your resistance. Your resistance is that first number, all right? We use the fire button to clear it, but we can check it, use the fire button to clear it, check it. See, mine is at 2.0. I've got a 1.8 in here. And so we use our fire button to clear it. Now, turn your base wheel just a little bit and test it again. Notice mine went to 2.1. Clear it, turn the base wheel, check it again, 2.4. Back to 2.1. So you can see it's still not perfect, but previously I was getting just some wild numbers, some wild readings. It was even sometimes not registering the coils at all, which made for a horrible vaping experience. So how do we fix this? It's actually somewhat simple. The main thing that we want to achieve is a good contact between the base and the wheel. First, start with rubbing alcohol and Q-tips. All right, so we're going to unscrew our tank here. And right down here is really where the problem is. Mine is clean already. But what you're going to do is you're going to take your Q-tips and make sure you dip them in the alcohol first, and then go in there and clean out everything that you can. They're probably going to come out pretty dirty at first. Turn it and keep cleaning with the alcohol. Make sure you can use plenty of alcohol in there. You're not going to damage anything. And keep turning it and using the alcohol. All right. Keep doing that until they start coming out pretty clean. If they're still coming out like this after you twist them in there, you still need to clean a lot more. They're not going to be absolutely perfect after you're done turning them in there, but once they start looking maybe a little bit clearer like that, then it's essentially about as clean as you're going to get with the alcohol. Also, when you're using the alcohol, make sure that you turn your base wheel. It'll probably, especially if it's got like a sandy kind of sound to it when you're turning it, just keep turning it with the alcohol in there until you'll feel it improve as you're doing that. Now, you might think, oh yeah, it's fixed, but it's not. If you reattach your tank right now with alcohol in there, it'll start reading much better numbers, almost like it's totally fixed, but it's not. If you try to vape right now after having put alcohol in there, this is where the air comes in to the unit. And so you're going to be vaping alcohol, which I don't suggest. And plus, once that alcohol dries, the problem is going to come back. So what do? Well, take your hair dryer and you're going to dry out all that alcohol that was in there. Obviously, I'm not going to turn on the hairdryer right now, but yeah, turn it on and just leave it there for about 5 minutes, pointing it at that hole. Also, before I forget, those indentions. Let me get some light on here. Those indentions that are on both sides of the threads right here. You need to make sure that you're cleaning out those indentions whenever you go in there. So this is where you use that pin. You can use a safety pin or a pin like this. Make sure that you go in there and that you look for any kind of crusted up fluid that may have gone in there, and remove any kind of crusted up fluid that's in there. You want everything nice and cleaned out. Okay. All right, so what's the second part to cleaning this? Second part uses the knife. Remember these contacts here? These indentions? What we're going to do, let's see if I can get better light here. What we're going to do is we're going to stick the knife in there, and you're going to essentially turn the wheel. You notice where I've got the knife inside one of the indentions. All right. You're going to turn the wheel. I can't use both hands right now, but turn the wheel while the knife is in there and clean those contacts on the inside. What I mean is inside, where's my light? All right, there we go. Inside here, you'll see that there's a piece. Whenever you are turning the wheel, there's a piece that doesn't turn in there. That's the part that's making contact with the base wheel. So you take your knife and you want to scrape the inner part of the wheel, the inner part inside those indentions. All right. Once you do that, you should see some nice shiny metal on the inside. You see, I don't